The first point I want to leave us with this morning, as we learn how movement with God works. Over the last couple of weeks, we said movement was necessary. Last week, we said it was intentional, meaning you have to move with God on purpose. Today, I'm sharing from we have to move through the unexpected, okay? And the first point I want us to share is this. It's really simple. Ready? Through the unexpected, you have to keep moving. Like Laura and I did not have the luxury to say, oh, well, guess we're not going home. No, we had to move through the unexpected. When things don't happen the way you planned for them to happen, something goes sour or something reacts in some kind of way and you didn't want it and you didn't expect it, you can't stop. You have to keep moving. How many of us understand that? We just don't have the luxury to stop. Although sometimes we want to throw in the towel because the fight is too hard, we don't have the luxury to throw in the towel. And here's what he says in here. He says that let perseverance finish its work. See, we don't have the luxury to throw in the towel because a work has to be finished. A work has to be finished. When something unexpected happens, the end goal still has to be reached. A work still has to be finished. That work might be something that God is doing inside of you, and that work might be something that God needs to do through you. It might be something that God is doing something around you, but the work has to be finished, and we don't have the luxury to have a premature exit or to throw in the towel. How many of you guys have ever gotten those big family packs of lasagnas from the supermarket? Right? How many of you guys, raise your hand if you've ever gotten those, right? I'm not talking about, you might be a cook, you might be a chef, you might make it on your own, show off. I don't care. But I'm talking about the ones of us that we don't really know how to make them that easy, and we go and we buy the big family pack of those. Have you ever tried to cook those things? How many of you guys, and I'm not the only one, how many of you guys, I know it says 60 minutes, but the time frame for cooking was a time frame that did not match the level of your hunger in the moment. So what do? Instead of putting it at 60 minutes for the 375 degrees that it says, what do? We put it for 450 at like 35 minutes. And yep, there's another one that don't bake her own lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Because our hunger could not last the unexpected encounter of the instructions that said it has to be 60 minutes. So we raised the temperature, shortened the time, because I'm going to eat before this time says I'm supposed to eat. How many guys have done that? Okay, more than myself, thank God. And what's the fact of the matter is, when you've done that and you've pulled it out, and you know I'm not a liar for this, what happens? The outside got burnt, but the inside's still frozen. And now you tried to eat it quicker, but you can't eat it anyway because it still ain't ready. So now what you got to do? You got to suffer the consequences. You got to put it back in, and you got to fast a little bit longer. Yes or no? Because you tried to do things one kind of way, and it didn't work. Because you weren't willing to wait. You weren't allowing the work to be finished the way it was supposed to be finished. You could not eat of the benefits that you were intending to eat of. Are you hearing me? And that happens to us when oftentimes when the unexpected comes and we try to avoid it. When we get and face the unexpected, we got to go through it. We got to keep moving, okay? We cannot, let me say this. How many guys can agree with me that oftentimes the unexpected will cause pain for us, right? And when the unexpected causes pain for us, how bad does it suck if you're going to go through the pain anyway and not getting anything out of it? Right? The pain is worth nothing if the growth is not achieved. If we're going to have to go through stuff, let us get the lesson from the stuff that we go through, right? It's hard, we get it, but we've got to go through it. We don't have the luxury of stopping. You got to keep moving. Point number 2, again, another mind-breaking point here. Not really, but sometimes we got to know the simple things to get through the difficult things. Point number 2 is the following, is that through the unexpected, the right attitude is still expected. Oftentimes we think that because we are now faced with something that's unexpected, that I have the luxury to have my kind of attitude. How many guys have taken that way too liberal too often? The unexpected comes, and you're like, well, God might understand. And I have a right to be upset. I have a right to be frustrated. And maybe we do have a right to be frustrated in the natural. But when it comes to our movement with God, even through the unexpected, the right attitude is still expected. How many of us know that we've failed in our attitude every now and then? Raise your hand if you've ever had a bad attitude. If you don't raise your hand, I'm going to come down and raise your hand to you because you've had a bad attitude with me. So, come on. I heard a story of a well-known preacher, of a well-known pastor one time. He said he had come out of teaching in a conference for a weekend, and on his way home, he was driving. He was tired. Okay, he was really, really tired. He was worn out. He had given it his all. And on his way home, he stopped off at a local coffee shop right before hitting the highway, right? I'm about to relate to this in a second. But so he stops off at a coffee shop, right? And something happened with the servers and the persons in front of him. And, you know, one of those things is like, you know what? I don't want to wait. Like, I want to get, come on. Let's go, hurry it up type of situation. Have you ever, in your mind told somebody all kinds of stuff like, hurry it up, keep moving, like, it's not that serious. Get out the way so I can get what I need to get. Anybody ever been there? No? Okay, I'm the only one. Pray for your boy. All right, so preacher goes to the coffee shop, right, and he's getting in, and he starts complaining, and he starts getting upset. And this is him testifying. He starts complaining. He starts getting upset and getting mad and just acting some kind of way. After he got his coffee, he walked back. He started going out. Somebody met him in the parking lot where his car was parked. And he said to him, hey, Pastor so-and-so, I just want to let you know, I've loved everything you've ever done. But what I just saw in that room has hurt me forever. What the preacher didn't know was that somebody was watching him. And that was something that was so simple that was unexpected in his journey to get back home, caused him to act some kind of way and ruin his testimony in front of somebody else. It's crazy to think that something like that, something so simple, would have been the test for him and the testimony for somebody else. But because he didn't have the right attitude in the moment, the unexpected threw him off. Through the unexpected, the right attitude is still expected. See, you have options. A lot of times when something pops up in front of us, we don't think we have options. But we do have options. We just read it. We read it from James chapter 1. The first thing that he says, consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds. Now, granted, that's not usually our first reaction, but that is the godly reaction. If we're going to move through life and the unexpected hits us in our face, you have options. The right answer, consider it joy. Like, okay, God, what you going to do through this? I didn't expect this, but you told me to consider it joy because you're baking something in me. I'm going to get excited about it, though I don't know what's coming because of it. You have options. You can consider it joy. Like something's going wrong in a relationship, consider it joy. It doesn't look anything like joy. It don't look like heaven. It looks like hell. But you can consider it joy. What are the options when you face the unexpected? One of the main options that many of us would choose, we would choose to avoid. We would choose avoidance. Have you ever dealt with somebody you don't want to deal with in a moment, or talk to somebody you don't want to? Yeah, speak to the hand. That's what we used to say way back in the day, right? Now it's like, I can't with you, right? Or I just can't. And when you really get upset, I'm not going to say it. You can avoid. You can become resentful. You can become bitter. You could submit your resignation emotionally or mentally, meaning you could just give up. You could get angry. You could try to justify yourself. Does anybody ever try to justify themselves? And you not only try to justify yourself, you try to say, oh no, I have a right to be angry, you have a right to do all the things that we just said were your options. When you face the unexpected, how do you move through them in a godly way? You don't have any of these reactions. You do what? You consider it all joy. You might not understand it in a moment, but you'll come to understand it. But it's your option. You have the choice. Pastor, you don't know. That's a lie. Stop telling yourself a lie to justify living a life that is not godly. I said, Pastor, we're talking about attitude. Slow down. Yes, your attitude also matters. It's not just about what you do outwardly. It's about how you feel inwardly and how you express that. Your attitude matters. So when you face the unexpected, how are you going to move through it? Guys, consider it joy. Real simple. Put a smile on your face. Laugh. Laugh in the face of adversity. All right? Third point I want to make for you guys is this, that the unexpected is our time to shine. Like it is the opportunity we've been waiting for. No, I was not waiting for my brake pads to go out and my wife to be stuck on I-4 for 5 hours in the midst of heavy traffic. No, I was not waiting on that. No, I was not waiting on the news that it's going to cost me $1,500 to get it fixed and I might not be able to go home on Saturday. The first thought I was, I got to preach on Sunday. We got to get back somehow. You know, somehow, some way, somebody's got to get a word that we've got to give. And so, but it is the opportunity we've been waiting for. For what? It was revealed to us in the scripture. He says that whenever you face trials of many kinds, consider it joy. Why? Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And let perseverance finish its work so that you can become mature and complete, lacking in nothing. There's two things for which the unexpected become our opportunity. The first one is perseverance. The word perseverance is the same word as steadfastness. It is the same word as patience. Okay, and this word means it demonstrates the characteristic of a man or a woman who is not swerved from his deliberate purpose, his loyalty to faith in God by even the greatest of trials and sufferings. So he says that we need to consider it joy because when we face trials and tribulations, when we face difficult things, it will be the opportunity for us to show, you know what? Nothing is taking me off the purpose that you've got for me, God. Nothing. Last week was about intentional movement, and the definition of intentional was on purpose. This word perseverance, patience, steadfastness, whichever version you're looking at, means that you would not be strayed off of that purpose.